just a mission.
You are going on a quest, a journey into the depths of Valhalla with no easy way out.
Interesting.
That was just in case you, the audience, wanted to know.
We're more likely now to go on a quest, kill the bad guy, get the girl,
You called me?
save the world, huzzah, everyone wins today, la-di-da-da.
Better to just let me handle the fighting. I wouldn't want any of you common soldiers getting hurt.
It could be the opportunity to become the hero you always wanted to be. It won't, but it could.
Ouch!
It will be the end of Yendar's famous airborne leap.
Kill pick! No!
When the going gets tough, the Dan gets going. I am nothing if not man incarnate. Because you can't spell Dan without man.
We are still stuck out here in the middle of nowhere.
My plan is complete. This power is all mine.
Oh man. Ooh, ah, Run away, coward! Where are you so I can kill you myself?
You lose. Valhalla is mine.
Mind shackle.
So, Kelda, this is how your quest ends. Everyone that you've been protecting, captured or dead.
I can offer you something you want.
And what would that be?
Power.
To the death, then. Now this is a fight.
You are the only one who can save Valhalla.
We have an agreement then.
Yes, Korok. We agree.
And I have a plan.
We're all gonna die.
What's wrong with this guy?
Welcome to TOV Live. It is Valhalla time. And do we have a double header tonight? We have a double header tonight. I just gotta click some buttons off and we should be set to go tonight. Hello, hello. Welcome you all to the TOV live stream. I am Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla, or you can just call me Tales, as some people are wont to do. Yeah, guys, so Kelda Short is done, and I know I said it was, like last Sunday, I said I was going to paint. I was going to see the Kelda Short and then paint tonight, but Renegade dropped the scenario, so I'm like, okay, well, I gotta read that, so that's what we're doing. But anyway, yes, I am the guy who for the past like 10, 15, 20, 30, no, past like 10, 13 years, I've spent time doing stop motion animation of these characters from the board game Heroscape, creating a story out of it based off the animations that you just saw in the countdown video. And I have 3 seasons worth of excellent storyline of characters from the Heroscape lore, although not entirely, how would I say, it's canon, but it's close to canon. It's been a lot of fun doing that the past 10 years. It's been a way of therapy for me, which I might talk about later in a second. But Dan Antonio first in the chat. How are you doing tonight, Dan? Good to see you tonight there. But yeah, so as I've done animations, there are animations that I've done in the past few years that I haven't released yet, and so I've slowly been releasing those. Like in the last year we saw Nigok Saw, the Nigok Saw short. I've also done some animations for Renegade themselves, as well as an animation for just a fellow fan. And in the back burner has been this Kelda introduction, to where the character of Kelda introduces herself, and it's the character from the Tales of Valhalla series, not Heroscape canon, but it's a fun one. And I've been spending time editing it, and I've been on I was on a roadblock because I'll get to that in a second. But we're gonna do premiere of that Kelda short, and then after that we will be looking at this next scenario 13, Persecution, and there's some like lore and stuff, the pages, like 3 pages worth of lore that we'll read through, and then look at what scenario Renegade has drummed up to. But before we get started, let me just discuss, now let's do this Kelda premiere. Now usually when I do premieres of things, I usually have a panel with me. I just wasn't, I didn't have time to do it, and I just wanted to keep it kind of simple tonight for this. But I did want to say, so for this Kelda short, I was getting kind of gummed up on the fact that I did miss a voiceover from the voice actress who plays Kelda. She was supposed to say a line, or a line was supposed to say, I'm not saying it's her fault, but was supposed to do a line, and either she did it and I don't have it, like it got erased somewhere, or just I don't have it, can't find it. So I had to remake a scene to where instead of she speaks, some orc gruts speak, and I had me and my son over, I think it was 2 weekends ago. Yeah, I think it was 2 weekends ago, or it might have been this weekend, I don't remember. But anyway, me and my son did some voiceovers, and for a 7-year-old, he just does what he can do. and we got some good voices, altered them, and so that helps fill that scene of what Kelda is actually doing in there. So I was able just to color correct, add music, and Bob's your uncle. It's done. So how about we take a look at that real quick? What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself. Mute buttons is only like a minute long, and we can see the premiere. And it is already, like, I don't have the link, but I did already post it a few hours ago, the short itself, on the Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel, so it should be there for y'all to view freely if you want to take a look at it yourself. Just it's the latest video that I dropped there in the video tab. But I will premiere it here now, live. And here, what I'm going to do is going to pause this, get this up here, and then we'll run through it again too with me talking. Shouldn't take too long though. Like I said, it's it's like a minute and 21 seconds, so it's not that long. So here is taking first a look at the introduction to Kelda, the Kyrie warrior. And hello, War Pigment, how are you doing? All right, here we go.
Hi, my name is Kelda. I am a healer.
Ouch. That hurts so. Woe is me. Oh. Wait, I'm okay. Please don't kill me. I'm alive. But a 1 out of 20 chance to die is not good medicine.
I am merciful.
Oh, God! He's deciding not to kill us.
I am very happy. Wait, did you want me to fight too? I suppose I can do a little bit of that as well.
And there you have it. There you have it. It is good to go. Now we'll play that again here. But 1 second before we do here, I'm going to I'm going to pause it a second because I just want to bring this window down here. So it's just playing, and then I can talk through it as well a little bit. And so I don't know if y'all noticed some things with this short. Here, let me get back to the beginning here. First of all, I like this. This you can't see me pointing to it, but the background of this set here is actually a set that I built for the very beginning of season 2. So I started animating this like several years ago. The animating of this took place, and then got the voiceovers over time, eventually edited. But this background, this is actually in the very beginning of episode 1, season 2 of Tales of Valhalla, to where you see different versions of the well springs. This is one of the sets. The wellspring would be up on the top there, where all those gray pillars are. So it's using sets from Tales of Valhalla, like season 2 and season 3, for some of these animated shorts. Season 2, episode 1. Yep, War Pigment. Yep, it's basically I'm shooting this from the other angle, like the shot that this particular wellspring set is in. You see it from the top part actually, and water like going cascading down, like the waterfall area here. But I just had Kelda just sit in the bottom, and it's a nice background scene for a thing. But anyway, okay, let's just start getting through this. So we just have Kelda talk about herself, and so her healing ability definitely had to make something mention here, and kind of a funny mention. And well, when the bots are throwing the Drudge into the lava. Nope, it's not that one. It's the shot where you see one of the well springs. So it's like you only see it for just a few seconds when Raylan's talking about the well springs in that like 7-minute sequence in season 2, episode 1. It's after those battles are done, and then you're seeing the sequence of like these well springs. But anyway, I wanted to get some comedic element into her being able to heal characters, yet there's always that 1 in 20 chance that someone's gonna die from the 20 die roll. So I use my Sylvaris character to kind of say that here. Still healed him, but everybody's kind of panicked, you know.
And a 1 out of 20 chance to die is not good medicine.
And then just have her say, you know, I'm merciful. And so this is the scene to where she was supposed to say, like, you are not going to die here or something, and I just didn't have the line. So I ended up recording different voices to where when the orcs start moving, they say the line. So that's actually me. Some of those orc voices are me and my 7-year-old saying those voices. So they're just basically describing like, okay, she's not going to kill us then, you know. That shows her being quote unquote merciful.
I am very happy.
And she's very happy, and
wait,
then she's like, oh wait,
you want me to fight too?
You want to see me fight too? Yeah, and then the bam goes the morrow. Got to see a little bit of action there. And then this particular set I actually used for a few intros. You see this actually in the Nigok Sa intro. And this is the set where you have a Kurok getting the fire elemental, extracting them. There's like a lava pit like inside that foundation there. My oldest daughter loves Toothpick. She's in love with animations. Well, I appreciate that, Warpig. Keep on watching it. Keep on watching. That helps my numbers a lot. All right. And then
I suppose I can do a little bit of that as well.
And Warpig, do you know there's a character introduction for the Airborne Elite? I don't know if you see it. There's like if you go to playlists, it helps get homework done. That's cool. If you see a playlist, yeah, oh yeah, there is. If you go to playlist, the playlist tab on Tales of How YouTube page, go to season 0 on the playlist tab, and you'll see all these character introductions. And I already have, I did Airborne Elite character introduction a long time ago. So it's up there. Check it out. It's season 0 on the playlist tab. Check that out and you'll see all of them on. And this Kelda short will be listed in there as well. So yeah, hey, I keep myself busy. Anyway, so that is looking at the music, of course, just the nice music at the end there. Got that added in. A lot of time spent for making 1 minute and 20 seconds of stuff. Anyway, so I'm glad I was able to finish that. Now the next character introduction, and the last one I currently have that's in the can that I can edit with is Kimoshi. Kimoshi's introduction. And so we'll get to work on that, and we'll probably find nights to start editing through that sometime in the future. And with Kimoshi, I got the lines from that voice actor in Fort Worth, Texas, one time I passed through Fort Worth, Texas, and then did the animation for that short at my first Scape Con. Am I going to do the Age of Annihilation models at all? Warpig, I do. I do. Actually, matter of fact, here, let me, here, I'll say it, since we're not into talking about the scenario, let me just put a couple of links in the chat here, because I do have 2 animations of Age of Annihilation stuff that I did. One for Renegade and one for my own personal enjoyment. Here, the first one I'm going to put, because it's right here, is Enter the Score Dire, because it's when I first got the Queen and the bugs, the Festering Honor Guard, and I was so excited to open them up that over the weekend I did just a very short animation of them. Here, hold on, let me drop that into the chat. Here, hold on a second. Let me get the. I think something's not catching up here on YouTube. Okay, let me just drop this in the YouTube chat, and I'll drop the link. And there we are. Okay, so there's the link for the Score Dire short, and then earlier this year for Renegade, I did a short to introduce their one of their Renegade cons, and I did that for them. Put in a lot of work, but that is there as well. So yes, I have done there. There we are. And so yes, and I can and cannot. There may or may not be some things I do with Age of Annihilation in the future as well. So just keep an eye out. Like I said, it takes a lot of time to do a lot of this, and seen the Renegade one. Okay, good. So the Score Dire one that I did, that one's kind of cool. Like I said, I did that just like one night of animating, and it's it takes a lot of work to do this, and and time is money, unfortunately, so I have to do stuff on my own time, which isn't much, so I do as much as I can. So yeah, I got a whole set of wizards. Yeah, I need to get all of them, and and then really freak Toothpick out, and Henderson as well. That would be a fun bit. But anyway, how about we get into the lore version, because yes, Renegade did drop. Anyway, but that I'll say this. And I'll end this by saying, like, that's taking a look at the Kelda introduction, and this is kind of like just the really tiny premiere of the Kelda animation short, and just looking forward to doing more animations in the future, because I enjoy doing them. I enjoy, like, able to bring these characters to life that you play just on the battlefield of all time, and can't wait to do more. And if you want to see, and I'll say this as well, because I'll separate this stuff out, but if you want to see the entire process of what it took to edit that animated short, and the conversations I had with all you lovely people in the chat too during the process, go to Conjecture Production YouTube page, which should be in the screen in front of you, or a link in the description below. You can check out that video that is like hours and hours and hours of time, but lots of fun always with y'all. So with that, thank you very much. Until next time. All right, and then hello, Brennan Nichols, Brennan Nathan Lever, better late than never. What's up? Excited to see these new scenarios. Yes, we're about to dive into them, Brennan. I was actually premiering a short that I released today, which you can see in the video. It's one of my, it's my recently released in the video chat, the introduction Kelda Kyrie Warrior that I did. So yeah, you're definitely not late. We are just about to get started. So with that, we're going to be taking a look at Online Scenario 13, Persecution. Here we go. So first I'm going to do with these, what I do is I'm going to read through the lore. I'm going to read through it all once and then go through it again and give my opinion on it. So let us get started. Vision of Negotiations. Grimnick, it's Grimnick 9. I had to remember my Roman numerals. Volarek's chief negotiator sits at a wooden desk. The window behind him overlooks New Hockeland, a city built over an impossibly fast time frame. With steepled fingers, the well-dressed orc listens as Yandar's representative finishes presenting his case, leaving a calculated pause to measure an official response. We would be honored to consider an alliance with such a renowned Valkyrie, the statesman speaks. Of course, we would need to discuss mutual profit in such a venture, but your offer of a formal agreement is certainly worth bringing to General Valorak. He beckons for Adelburn to be seated. The Ursine maintains a stoic countenance, but moves swiftly to a seat. Clearly, he was expecting to parley with a Vorid from his home world, appealing more to shared commonalities than monetary benefits. Reading his itinerary, the statesman calls upon the next presenter. Ambassador of Revna, you've come with an offer as well, correct? Miserex steps forward, Kilcorex and the other acolytes wait uncomfortably despite the cushions of their manufactured seats. We are deeply, deeply grateful for your assistance in holding the heathen hordes of Utgar at bay during the battle at the Pools of Sorrow, Miserex begins. We come to pursue a solidified alliance and bring about a peaceful future for Valhalla. That is so funny. You're so cute. Anyway, one guided under Lady Revna's infinite wisdom. The statesman raises a bushy eyebrow, red eyes, analyzing Miserex. We lost many soldiers that day, he says. Lives were lost and expenses accrued. Expenses which wisdom cannot suitably repay. Surely you have more to offer than just some alleged omniscience. His words send a ripple through Revna's representatives. Acolytes clench their fists, and Miserex's eyes flash with disbelief, quickly followed by indignation. Good, Grimneck thinks. A clouded mind is easier to outwit in a business deal. You misvalue priceless insight in favor of mere materials, Miserex rebuffs. Clearly, your general has amassed physical resources in healthy measure. We offer a different value, a hope for the future, something worth far more than gold or supplies. Perfect. She's angry, but still wants to negotiate. Some swift, placating apologies will make her think she has the upper hand in this negotiation. She just needs to offer shared use of the Merkheim tunnels, and bang! Whoa. Continued. Miserex falls lifelessly to the floor. Smoke rises from Grimneck. Wow. Grimneck 9's officer's pistol, swiftly pulled from its hostler. I'm saying that wrong. And gripped tightly by one of his own guards. Both statesman and the orc behind the trigger stand with eyes wide in shock. Then chaos. Murderer! Kilcorax shouts. Behind her, acolytes rise to their feet, knives drawn. This treachery shall not stand. Before any of Grimneck's guards can stop her, the congregants rush out of the meeting hall. Adelburn glares at Valorak's representatives, already on his feet and gripping his maul. Weapons are drawn as the guards rise to protect their commander. Grimneck manages to utter a quick order. Hold enforcers. He has no idea why one of them shot the undead Kyrie, but he will not let another ambassador be killed. You dishonor the very concept of peace, Adelburn snarls, maul in hand. May your coffers overflow until you drown in your own coinage, you greedy cowards. I withdraw Lord Yandar's offer. He makes his way to the exit as well. Two gruts go to block him with mechanized axes, but then stop, deciding not to antagonize the Ursine champion any further. Grimneck 9 turns to his security, already shackling and detaining their murderous compatriot. The killer sputters. I didn't do it. My hand moved on its own. Before I knew what was happening, she was dead. As the guards prepare to take him away, that reminds me of a mind shackle, guys. I know, okay, sorry, no opinions yet. As the guards prepare to take him away, Einar's representative, a samurai officer, finally speaks. Treachery, he states. The samurai firmly grasps his belt, hand closer to his jet, then his swords. Treachery by the hands of that witch, the one who fled. My years in this land have shown me a variety of sorceries and otherworldly evils, and I believe there is trickery afoot, honorable one. Grimnack studies the human, searching for deception. None can be found. His brown eyes are unwavering, his jaw set, his breathing steady despite the stress of the situation. And you wish to seek an alliance as well, representative of Einar? Volarak's statesman asks. The officer replies, Lord Einar has plenty of gold to offer, and I swear to you my service in investigating this spineless attempt to frame your general. Grimnack smiles, revealing clean, well-kept tusks. It is only proper to do business with an honest partner, he replies, accepting the samurai's offer. No manipulation is needed. Einar's servant would see right through it. Finally, some good old-fashioned business. Okay, and the next one, For the Eyes of Lady Revna, from the pen of Kilcarax the Warrior. Mizrax has joined the martyrs. I have a question. She is now the symbol for a movement amongst the faithless materialists of New Hockland. It is as you predicted. Volarak is here as an invader, a looter wanting to pilfer our promised inheritance and the sacred waters of the wellsprings. Her representative showed a keen interest in physical wealth and resources, eschewing any immorality in favor of coin. As ordered, I have orchestrated Mizrax's martyrdom to prevent any alliance with the invader. Some simple witchcraft directed the hand of an enemy guard, and a twitching of sinews have provided our people with a name to rally behind. The other generals, representatives now have a reason to loathe the war's newest arrival as well. In scoffing at your wisdom, Valorak's war machine has unwittingly played folly to your higher plans for ultimate peace. In time, I hope you can offer Mizrax one more chance at life. Though she failed at the summit of the Shattered Table, her honest faith is a resource we cannot waste in the long term. I had begun to see her as a younger sister, once another rebirthed from death in your service as I was. Though I do not regret my part in her ascension, I miss her companionship and inspiration for the missionaries you sent with us. Even her second death, I can feel as if she's watching over me, strengthening me to serve you better. I will carry on in her memory, and I'll spread her tale to gain support in this new war for the minds of the people within Ostrovik's borders. Your servant, Kilcarax. Whoa, okay, well, I got some things to say first. Okay, let's go back to the beginning here. I'm going to take a drink, and let's see what the chat's saying. Hello there, Solo Scaper. Welcome. Congrats on releasing the Kelda Short. Turned out great. Yeah, I like it. I'm glad I got it completed. To the point, you know. And Solo Scaper, the scenario is wild. I love it. Really complex directions for the story. And Brennan said, sounds like he got his turn taken for it. Yeah. Well, you know, this is interesting. Okay, let me just start reading it again, and then I'll give my thoughts. Okay. So Grimnack the Ninth. So Grimnack the Ninth, I think this is the name of the one of the Orc leaders that we saw, that we knew was a Valorak, from the display case that Renegade showed at Gen Con this year. So we got a name, Grimnack 9. So it's another Grimnack, but it's Grimnack number 9. But that tells me something. That means if we have Grimnack already, then, and that would be technically Grimnack 1, that means we have a Grimnack 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 somewhere running around. But that makes sense to me, I'm just saying. Valorak's chief negotiator sits at a wooden desk. The window behind him overlooks New Hockeland. A city built, guys. We need, yeah, the one on the peak. Yep, exactly. The one that's riding, yeah, that dinosaur. Yep, exactly. City built over an impossibly fast time frame. So this is a city that's rapid growth. We need to get, okay. If we got Hawkland, we having scenarios with Hawkland. We need to get some special Hawkland terrain. Like something, I don't know, you just need something different. I know we've seen different things like the toxic water that G.I. Joe's like bringing up, but Renegade plans to keep on expanding this stuff. We need Hawkland type terrain, you know. But this is a different type of orc. It's very interesting. It's not like you know, this very refined type of orc. Very interesting. Soul Escaper. My guess is Grimneck 9 was not born in Valhalla. He was summoned by Valorek from an industrialized future of Grut. You're probably on the money there, Soul Escaper. If I know if Jeremy has anything to do with the lore of these characters, he would want to again take a reference back to classic Heroscape. So that makes perfect sense. Hey, Daniel chats in the chat. New Hawkland terrain would be so cool. Hope to see a canon version like a Marvel Warehouse Run, something like that. Yeah, if we're getting like enterprise and industry, we need industrial terrain. Just saying, you know, it's probably on the way, you know. With steepled fingers, the well-dressed orc listens to Yandar's representative, finishes presenting this case. This is actually almost like a comedy too, leaving a calculated pause to measure an official response. And if anybody knows anything about how business deals are done or how sales deals are done, there's a lot of like parallels to this, although obviously we're not shooting, you know, the person that we don't like and not controlling another person we don't like, but we need a blast furnace. Yes, we do, no doubt. Yep. And a blast furnace that can like empower some miniatures but still attack others, you know, it's stationary, you know, it's kind of like a Morrow Hive. That would be awesome. We need different versions of like a Morrow Hive for things. Really have fun, like for terrain design, you know. Okay, we'd be honored to consider an alliance with a renowned Valkyrie. It's funny how all these, now this is one thing I would say. Okay, so obviously this is the aftermath of Utgar's downfall. I assume Utgar is out of the picture for the moment. But now it's like, okay, we're seeking alliances now with Valorek. It's an interesting take, you know, from this. What's going on with all the characters from the last scenario? I'm sure we'll find out sometime, but the wellspring being poisoned are still poisoned. That, like, a cure is not made yet. We're being left hanging here for that story, and we're thrust into this one. Not saying it's not good. I'm just saying, like, okay, there's some strings that still need to be pulled here. Anyway, I just want to say that, and then I'm done. We'll be honored to consider an alliance with the renowned Valkyrie. Statement speaks, of course, we need to discuss the mutual profit in such a venture, but your offer of a formal agreement is certainly worth bringing to General Valorek. He beckons Adelburn to be seated. The Ursine maintains a stoic countenance, but moves stiffly to a seat. Yeah, it's, unless you want to break things, I don't know how sending Adelburn there is the best sales tactic. Clearly, he was expecting to parley with a Vord from his home world. So I guess that was the thinking. Jandar thought, okay, let's send an Ursine to talk with, you know, another Vord type Ursine. Animal creature. And then he got stuck talking with an orc, which he probably smashes orcs for breakfast. So, yeah. Appealing more to be shared commonalities than monetary benefits. Yeah, I think it was thinking, okay, how can we bond? Adelbon is good with words in his bio. Yes. But at the same time, he's still, you know, yeah. I think Adelburn just expected something different than encountering an orc, because I think he still doesn't have good feelings about orcs. So I think that kind of had to mistrust things right away. Reading his itinerary, the statesman calls upon the next presenter. Ambassador of Revna, you've come with an offer as well, correct? Mizrax steps forward with Kilcorax, and the other acolytes wait uncomfortably despite the cushions of their manufactured seats. I love how this is described. It's a show of strength for sure, Warpig. We are definitely grateful for your assistance in holding the heathen hordes of Utgar at bay during the battle at the Pools of Sorrow, because they're both kind of fighting against Utgar, on two different sides. Mizrax begins. We come to pursue a solidified alliance and bring about a peaceful future for Valhalla, one guided under Lady Revna's infinite wisdom. The statesman raises a bushy eyebrow. See, it's like, red eyes analyzing Mizrax. We lost many soldiers that day, he says. Lives were lost, the expenses accrued, expenses which wisdom cannot suitably repay. Surely you have more to offer than just some alleged omniscience. So it's like, they're trying to appeal to the religious part of them, and I don't think Valarak has that too much. His words send a ripple through Revna's representatives. Acolytes clench their fists. Mizrax's eyes flash with disbelief, quickly followed by indignation. Good, Grimneck thinks. A clouded mind is easier to outwit in a business deal. So he's just thinking of a way to outwit him. So escape fantasy orcs recontextualized as heartless capitalists is such a cool creative take. Yeah, there is something for that. Say crony capitalists, really. You must value priceless insight in favor of mere materials, Mizrax rebuffs. Clearly, your general has amassed physical resources in healthy measure. We offer a great value, a hope for a future, something far worth more than gold or supplies. So it's like, okay, we're trying to, in a sales presentation, you're trying to give value to whatever you're offering. If you don't have capital, then capital, aka, money, you need to try and make something that's equal or more value, and so this is the pitch that Mizrax is trying to do. Perfect. She's angry, but still wants to negotiate. Some swift placating apologies, and will make her think she has the upper hand in this negotiation. She just needs to offer shared use of the Merkheim tunnels, so still looking for, okay, if we can get the access to the tunnels, then that would be great, but didn't even get there, and bang. The comedy. Mizrax falls lifelessly to the floor. Now, this is my question, because I paused when I was reading this. I'm like, isn't Mizrax already dead? It's not like these guys are alive. They're undead, isn't it? And I'll get to this here. Hold on a second. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Here, hold on a second. I'll double check real quick. Because it's hard to keep track of all the stats of these cards. I'm sure one of you will tell me before I even hit it, but let's see here. Hold on a second. Mizrax. Undead. Yeah, undead. So I'm like, okay, that makes no sense. Because if I were the orc, if I were this orc, if I were Grimneck number 9, I would already know all these emissaries are undead. It's like, how can you kill something that's already dead? Anyway, I digress. Smoke rises from Grimneck 9's officer's pistol. So not Grimneck 9's pistol, but his officer's pistol, swiftly pulled from its hostler and gripping tightly by one of his own guards. At least Kilcorax has that light train spirit now. Exactly. It's like it's beneficial for them to die. I like how this plays out in the story, though. Both the statesman and the orc behind the trigger stand with eyes wide in shock, then chaos. Murder! Kilcorax shouts. Probably a little too enthusiastic. I think Grimneck 9 probably sees that's like, okay, you played me because, behind her, acolytes rise to their feet, knives drawn. This treachery will not stand. So Kilcorax kind of makes that type of play, which actually for a second, because it says, before any of Grimneck's guards can stop her, the congregants rush out of the merchant meeting hall. Adeburn glares at Volak's representatives. already on his feet and gripping his maul. Weapons are drawn, and as the guards rise to protect their commander, Grimneck manages to utter a quick order: "Hold enforcers." He has no idea why one of them shot the undead Kyrie, but he will not let another ambassador be killed. You dishonor the very concept of peace, Adelburn snares, maul in hand. May your coffers overflow. I like it how this is Adelburn's insults. We need to come up with like Short saying, like, this is the part of the show where Adelburn hurls insults at you, and then we just call it Adelburn's insults. There's an idea, guys. Somebody write that down for me, and then start writing short scripts. I can make shorts out of it. Adelburn snarls, maul in hand. May your coffers overflow until you drown in your own coinage, you greedy cowards. I withdraw Lord Jandar's offer. Oh, there you go. Do it, said Warping. Oh yeah, okay. It'll be on the list along the other couple dozen things that I'm doing. He makes his way to the exit as well. 2 Gruts go to block him with mechanized axes, but then stop, deciding not to antagonize the Ursine champion any further. Probably a good plan. You don't want to piss off a bear. Grimneck 9 turns to his security, already shackling and detaining their murderous compatriot. The killer sputters, "I didn't do it. My hand moved on its own. Before I knew what was happening, she was dead." And so for a second I thought, oh, this is Mind Shackle. Maybe you have like Kimoshi hiding somewhere doing like a Mind Shackle, you know, from the shadows or somewhere. But then it's like, then we read further on that that's not the case. It's actually Revna. Revna is finally showing what I thought Revna was in the first place. Very devious, like, obviously, Revna thinks that she is the savior of all kinds, which is fine, and she's just going on that, but it's not exactly the moral standard. It's it's that character's own standard, and everybody, of course, is going to not go along with that, which makes a great villain, by the way. As the guards prepare to take him away, Einar's representative, a samurai officer, finally speaks. Now, I'm curious who this samurai officer is. I'm not exactly sure. Does anybody know who this... I'm like reading through this again. I'm not 100% sure. Marashot? The samurai officer? Is Marashot a samurai? Because it says this is a samurai from Einar. So I don't think Marashot is a samurai. Oh, Mind Whisper. Oh, that's what you're saying about Revna. Yeah, no. It's because we'll read about it in a second. But first, just the samurai. I'm not exactly sure who the samurai is. The samurai firmly grips his belt, hand closer to his jutsu than his swords. Maybe that shows us. Or maybe this is oh, I know there's some samurai that's in Classic Scape. Maybe it's one of those. I'm thinking of one here. Hold on, just give me 1 second. Classic Scape. Maybe it's Hamato Taro, or not? No. Kato. It might be Kato. Kato Katsuro. That's probably who this samurai is, unless they have another samurai they're going to be bringing out. Or Kato Katsuro V2, maybe Solo Escaper. That is possible. That would be fine. Keimanoa, yeah. It only, other than it's just a samurai and it's a hero, we're not sure. But it's cool that, and actually this kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense that Einar and Volorak, since they're all about, because Einar is a little bit about wealth, more imperialism than wealth, but they kind of can combine and kind of, yes, have that, how would I say it, that alliance. That it makes sense for them. So I will say that. Treachery states, the samurai firmly grabs his belt, hand closer to his jutsu. So it's treachery by the hands of that witch, the one who fled. My years in this land have shown me a variety of sorceries and otherworldly evils. So this samurai saw right through it. He knew exactly what Revna did. what Mizrax did. And I believe there's trickery afoot, Honorable One. Grimneck studies the human, searching for deception. Now, Grimneck, if anything knows about business, you know not to bluff somebody who is being direct. Don't do it. They can see it a mile away. So at least this Grimneck can see that. Studies the human, searching for deception. None can be found. His brown eyes are unwavering, his jaw set, his breathing steady despite the stress of the situation. And you wish to seek an alliance as well, Representative of Einar, Valorek's statesman asks. The officer replies, Lord Einar has plenty of gold to offer, and I swear to you my service in investigating this spineless attempt to frame your general. Grimneck smiles, revealing clean, well-kept tusks. It is only proper to do business with an honest partner, he replies. And Grimneck himself is definitely not honest. I don't think Valorek is as honorable and honest as you might think. He replies, accepting the samurai's offer. No manipulation is needed. Einar's servant would see right through it. Finally, some good old-fashioned business. Heck yeah, it's the military-industrial complex. Yeah, in a sense, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to insert politics here, but it's just an interesting way that each faction has their own thing, you know. Okay, and for the eyes of Lady Revna, here we go. And now we have religious extremists. There you go. Mizrax has joined the martyrs. She is now, again, I'm just like, she's undead. She's already dead. And it already says in here, you know, she's now the symbol for our movement. So, okay, it's Kilcorax that did it, because Kilcorax does admit it in this letter, Warpig, that she took control of one of those orcs to kill Mizrax, to make Mizrax look like a martyr for those acolytes witnessing to just rev up Revna's base. Why would you need to do that? I don't know, but that's what happened. You think those acolytes would be like, you know, thinking, well, Mizrax is already dead, so just bring her back to life again. There you go. And it says it as much in this. Mizrax has joined the martyrs. She is now a symbol for our involvement amongst the faithless materialist in New Hawkland. It is, as you predicted, Valorek is here as an invader, a looter wanting to pilfer our promised inheritance and the sacred waters of the wellsprings. Her representative showed a keen interest in physical wealth and resources, eschewing any morality in favor of coin. As ordered, I have orchestrated Mizrax's martyrdom to prevent my alliance with the invader. Some simple witchcraft directed the hand. Here we go. This is the mission. Some simple witchcraft directed the hand of the enemy guard, and a twitching of sinews have provided our people with a name to rally behind. So there you go. And like I said, this Einar general samurai saw, or this Einar samurai saw right through it too. The other generals representatives now have reason to loathe the war's newest arrival as well. So Revna basically set up a framing operation, which kind of contradicts. They were trying to prove Revna's innocence from the first scenario, and now we have Revna like clearly messing up these negotiations. So who's to say that Revna didn't mess up the first negotiations all along? I mean, I know it's not the case, but now that gives more doubt into Revna's innocence from the first time. You know. Soul Skipper, yeah, totally. Super cool, complicated story. Revna is a bad guy. Yeah, Revna is a very subtle bad guy, though. Although you know it. It's interesting how, you know, you have villains that have different motivations. And the more complex the motivation, the more complex and interesting the villain. It's the same thing with a hero. I mean, a hero's journey, it can go many directions and many paths. Some have redemption, some it's just, you know, it's overcoming things, and it's like it's dips and valleys and everything, but it's still a hero's journey. Same thing for a villain's journey. but so is Einar Valaric in a different way. Yeah, and I think it's also a way of perspective of seeing things. I mean, we have our own moral values here on Earth, but in this particular sandbox, that can mean a different thing with these characters, and so that's why it's so fun to play with it. Because even though we have a moral ground and moral high ground, they don't. So it's a perspective of looking at it through that lens, and then also gleaning from that lens to ourselves in our own lives. In a simple way, if you want to do it, you just have fun with it. You can just read the story. But they all fought together against Utgar. Yep, this is, like I said, it's like, okay, who wants to, well, there's bad and then there's really, really bad. But maybe some fought against Utgar for getting that advantage for different reasons other than he's bad. He's just, sometimes an enemy is just in the way and you want to get him out of the way. In fairness, we don't know how easy or difficult it is for Revna to reincarnate Kyrie. Perhaps it isn't even common knowledge that Mizrax and Kilcarax aren't dead at all. True, but at the same time, other generals representatives, I'm just keep on reading, the other generals representatives now have reason to loathe the war's newest arrival as well. In scoffing at your wisdom, Valaric's war machine has unwittingly played folly, so that means Kilcarax was insulted to begin with, didn't want to negotiate at all. Has unwittingly played folly to your higher plans for ultimate peace. I like how peace of our time. All Revna wants is peace for you and for me as we slit your throat. Why not? In time, I hope you can offer Mizrax one more chance at life. So there you go. There is the reference to where. Yeah, I don't think like Revna can just snap her fingers and then boom, they come back to life. But there is a process. It can happen. Though she failed at the summit of the shattered table, her honest faith as a resource we cannot waste in the long term. So eventually, Mizrax is going to come back. There's a thing about being mostly dead as opposed to all dead. Just saying. I say that a lot, I think. I think I said the last time about another character. I had begun to see her as a younger sister, another rebirth from death in your service as I was. Though I do not regret my part in her ascension, I missed her companionship and inspiration for the missionaries you sent with us. I like the word missionaries, the acolytes being missionaries. I love how that's worded. It's almost like an extreme religion or cult, or extreme like cult sect. It's nice. You sent us. Even in her second death, I can feel she's watching over me. So at least Kilcarax recognizes that, yes, they are undead there. So that kind of answers that question as well. I can feel as if she's watching over me, strengthening me to serve you better. I'll carry on in her memory and spread her tale to gain support in this new war for the minds of the people within Ostrovic's borders. So they really want to get just everybody on their side. That's their goal. That's their mission. Your servant, Kilcarax. Nice little artist rendition there. And I like the skull too. I like how Kilcarax sent Revna a little self-portrait. Isn't that cool? Kilcarax not only knows how to assassinate and really rev up the ranks of her forces, also is knows how to write and is an artist on top of that. So yeah, so that's what Kilcarax wrote. So this isn't Sonlin's journal, but overall that's some interesting writing. And it is taking the story further. It's just different characters now. So different characters, different units, and some of the units that are being talked about here, of course, is stuff that we've seen at Gen Con. So that's kind of cool to get names and people and places and things. And we'll see where the story takes us into next month. So that's taking a look at Scenario 13's lore bit Persecution from the pen of Not Sonlin. Number 13. This story, very, very interesting. Okay, now let us move on because I don't have a lot of time tonight, guys. I want to end things pretty quickly. Already an hour into this, so let's just get into the online Scenario 13 game and look at the map they have presented for us, which just looks like a pretty big map. Yeah, a lot of train expansion. So let us dive into it then. First, we'll just at the main scenario. First, we'll take a look at the map. Map New Hockeland Industrial Runoff Zone. Look at that thing. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of terrain. Required sets: lands of Valhalla, waters of Valhalla, swamps of Valhalla, grove at Lara's Edge, terrain expansion. That is a lot. And here's some lore. Volarex industrial forges. And we need an industrial forge, definitely. Create plenty of byproducts in the process. Most notably, New Hockeland's refineries produce a sludge that has no commercial purpose and is hazardous to those exposed to it. To reduce risk of illness, the sludge is pumped out of New Hockeland and into the surrounding countryside, away from any sapient life. Revenant acolytes, forced to flee the city, have gathered in this runoff zone, regrouping after the chaos of the ambassadors' meeting. That's a nice little setup for that. And who doesn't like playing with acolytes? I actually like, I had them, they were used against me at Gen Con, and now I see the value of them. Even just one squad is pretty valuable in a game. If you're using, like, say, really, they can help boost any army build, really. They're very essential. Even just getting one. They're common squad, so you can use more. But technically, if you're limited on points, one is just fine, because they come back to life, which is really cool. So yeah, so this is just a big wide map. My goodness. And so we have 5 levels there for the bushes and trees, and yeah, solid, fun map. Takes some time to build, but there you go. Soul Escaper, yeah, the acolytes are great, especially backing up Iron Lich. Yep. I had Board Hero. I faced against Board Hero twice in Gen Con. First time I got absolutely slaughtered by his Iron Lich Scavarith combo with Revenant Acolytes. And the second time, I actually got very, very close, but he also had a Grave Grim that was clutch at the end, and I wasn't able to overcome the Grave Grim. That was quite a battle. But anyway, here we go. The scenario itself, 13, Persecution, Master Game. And we have Acolyte Start Zone, Enforcer Start Zone, and Sewer Spaces. Interesting. All right, let's read the lore. It is of utmost urgency that we prevent the undead scourge from corrupting the innocent minds of the people of New Hockeland. Enforcers are permitted to use lethal force in the removal of these cultists. Grimneck 9. Okay, so they wise up. Grimneck 9 understands that, okay, Revna controlled one of my men to kill one of Revna's guys to tick Revna's acolytes off. Following a sudden murder during a diplomatic meeting, many Revenant acolytes spread throughout the city, seeking to gain sympathizers within its walls. After Volarek's statesman issued a bounty on the heads of any who follow Revna, yeah, that's not good. I guess the negotiations were short. The acolytes took to hiding, hoping to wait out his persecution and eventually return to New Hockeland to spread the story of Mizrax's martyrdom and Revna's truths. Ah, that's another one. Now, a Revenant high priest rallies the congregation to resist those who would strike down the true believers, uniting acolytes and converts alike against the brutal enforcers under Valorek's command. Interesting. So goal, being the last army standing or achieve your army's special victory condition. And this is only a 4-round game, so relatively quick. Choose who will be the enforcer player and who will be the acolyte player. Enforcer player creates or drafts a 550-point army. The acolyte player creates or drafts a 450-point army. Boring conversation anyway. Yeah, exactly. They're about to get company as well, so, Yeah. I mean, really, but if you were Vidar, you could nuke everything from orbit, you know? It's the only way to be sure. Okay, enough pop culture references for you, maybe? I don't know. The Acolyte's player's army must include at least one unique hero. After placing figures, the Acolyte player chooses a unique hero in their army to be the Revenant High Priest. Ah, okay, interesting. So, a Revenant High Priest. Interesting. Okay, each army has its own special victory condition. Destroy the Revenant High Priest before the end of the round 6. Okay, so it's just a title. Acolytes. End a round with Revenant High Priest on any of the sewer spaces marked in blue on the map and not engage with any enemy, or reach the end of round 6, or we're only going to round 4 here, with Revenant High Priest still on the battlefield. So that's interesting. There's like a typo here, guys, because we only have 4 rounds here. I mean, you can do 2 more with your imagination, but does that mean round 6 or round 4? Okay, little miscommunication there, or slight, I think there's kind of like an error. Special rules, industrial waste. Okay, poisoned by hazardous chemicals. Now, guys, we are getting industrial waste, like toxic water type things, soon, so we can actually like build this with, you know, the toxic water that's going to be released from the G.I. Joe set. Poisoned by hazardous chemicals. These areas weaken any who occupy them. Figures on 1 or more swamp water tiles reduce their defense value by 1 and subtract 3 from any rolls for special powers using the 20-sided die. Reinforcements. At the beginning of each round, before rolling for initiative, the enforcement player may place 1 previously destroyed squad figure who follows Velarak and any empty space in their starting zone. Revna preserve us at the beginning of each round before rolling for initiative, and the Acolyte player may remove 1 wound from a unique hero they control who follows Revna. Okay, that helps. Sewers. In a desperate bid to escape, High Priest may attempt to enter New Hakaland's sewer systems. At the end of any round, if the Acolyte player's chosen High Priest is unengaged and occupying any of the sewer spaces marked in blue on the map, the High Priest sneaks into the city and the Acolyte player wins. Okay, so it's an interesting scenario. I like it. It's a lot of fun. It makes makes use of the Acolytes and any Revenant stuff you have. And basically you just use whatever army builds you can besides that. I mean, it does require the High Priest, but even those you could use proxies for, you know, if you didn't have them. Although you should. But yeah, so I like it. It is more of like I consider it more of a high-end scenario, considering there is a specific units that you need, and you need a lot of terrain. You need those terrain boxes. Although I'm sure you could, like, if you only have a limited amount of terrain, you could do a smaller map with scenario. It doesn't exactly have to be this map, so there's still the beauty in that. But I like the additional lore to that, so it just shows the how would I put it, the outcome of negotiations, to where now Velarak is just hunting down any Revna or Revna convert that's in Hakaland and trying to boot them out, and then Revna people are trying to escape. I don't think Revna's going to take that lightly. I have a feeling that Revna, we're going to get a lot more Revna units, and might be as overwhelming as Ukkar. At least I hope. I just want bugs just everywhere. I want more bug common squad. Actually, we don't even have bug common squads. We need Skordar common squads. I'm just saying. I just want a bunch. That would be so fun. Anyway, so persecution. So who's being persecuted here? I guess. Well, Revna, the persecution is like in quotations, because technically Revna did it to themselves. It's like, you started this by like destroying negotiation by killing your own people and claiming that they're a martyr, that they killed the people, and now everyone's confused and Bob's your uncle. Crazy. But that's kind of fun. I like how that pertains to what we read in the journal lore earlier. So another fun. I just love the unique ways that we're still figuring out how to do different scenarios. So Renegade, just keep on giving us variety, and we'll keep on saving them and storing them into our memory banks to play in the future. And I can't wait for I don't know when Hexal is going to run this scenario, but that should be a fun one for them to play. I can't wait to see it. But with that, I guess we will finish the read of Online Scenario 13, Persecution. Looking good. All right. Okay, guys, so I guess I'm going to wrap it up tonight for this stream. I know, nationally, I'm not going to get into this too much, but it has not been a good day. I don't care what side you're on or what aisle you're on. It's just not a good day. So I was almost having misgivings about even doing anything tonight, but at the same time, I'm just like, and this is for y'all who are, older or new or whatever. I have gone through so much in my life when it comes to battling Crohn's disease for like 30 years. There has been plenty of times to where that could have been it for me. I mean, I literally like have a permanent ostomy on my belly right now, like a literal hole in my belly, and that's the only reason why I'm alive today. And so I think even if it's just, a little bit of an audience to just spread a little bit more inspiration and fun, no matter what's happening, you still got to do it. You still got to speak through and talk through things within, especially within the realm of pop culture, because that's what inspires people. That's what inspires like the next generation. Like my son, my son loved the fact that he was able to do voiceovers with me for this Kelda Short, to play the orc gruts. And I hope that helps inspire him to do his own artistic endeavors or whatever he wants to do, in his future life. Because I don't know how much time I have. We don't know how much time we have, on this earth. And so we got to try and live it the best we can. Soul Escaper, what are you doing there? Okay, I got to. You're too kind, sir. $10 super chat. Second one ever. I'm glad you're here, buddy. I appreciate you, Soul Escaper. Thank you so much for that. That's very kind. Any dollar that's donated or given, it really helps going towards allowing me to do more stuff on this channel, because I'm limited in what I can do. And unfortunately, it's like I said this to Will Dog and Days at Gen Con, that and this isn't an excuse, but it's just this is the cards you're dealt. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at 11 years old, turning 12. And while I've had, brief moments of time to where I was able to do some things, not much opportunity was provided for me in my young life to excel in places and things, and being able to do things that matter, at least in my head. I know that there still is things that I've done in my life that do matter, Even if it's to one person, it matters. But not much opportunities in my life to make something for myself. So I know when I started making Tales of Valhalla Season 1, like almost 15 years ago. Well, it was like 13 years ago, probably. It was battling strictures, intestinal blockages when I had my large intestine still there. It was badly damaged from all the illnesses. And I knew at a young age that I didn't expect to live past 30 years old. I'm 42 now, so thank God, still here. And I thought to myself, I want to do something, with my hands. I want to do some type of filmmaking thing. And even if I don't complete something, at least I can darn well try to do something, try to set up some skills for me to accomplish something. And even if I don't make it, I'm going to darn well try to make something of it while I'm still around. So for anybody who's pursuing whatever goals to change people, their communities, their country, the world, to their last breath, you got to commend that. Regardless of any debate. I always try to be kind, because I've been through a lot of hell, and it's like Crohn's is no cakewalk. You suffer a lot of pain. You go through unbelievable, excruciating pain that sometimes you feel like I just want to end it. You have those thoughts, and to where your brain just breaks down after a while. And like I say at the end, of these streams, you have a purpose in your life, find it, pursue it, live it. Each and every one of you has something that you can do. Every one of you is my superior in some way. And you have a way to make a difference, even if it's just to one person, even if it's just a smile and a handshake. You have a way to make a difference to somebody. You have a way to help somebody. Even if it's an enemy. And yeah, absolutely, sir. I have gone through so much hell that even though, and I'll say this, I'm not bragging about this, I do have some skills. I know how to defend myself. I know how to defend my family, and if I need to, I will. Lethal force required. But that aside, I wish no harm to anybody, because I know how horrible it can be to go through hell. And unfortunately, there is a lot of pain that this world feels. And there are people who go through things that are way worse than what I've gone through. What can you do about that? What can you say about that? The only thing I think I can do, if that you still breathing, you have to just keep walking, just to show people that there is still ways to be inspiring. There still is a younger generation behind you that is looking for people to lead them, to show them ways that they can keep on keeping this world spinning and to be leaders themselves. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all have done things that I'm sure we regret. But no matter what is endured, even if this is the last time I talk to you all, one thing I do not regret is trying to endure as long as I possibly can. Oh, it hurts, and I have my down days. I have my days where I just feel like ripping this ostomy off of me, but so, that's not practical. That's not logical to think that way, even though there are times where things get very, very frustrating. I am a praying type of person, so I try not to trust in myself too much because I can mess things up terribly. So I trust in a higher power. If you don't, that's fine. But it's good to trust in something greater than yourself, because we all need that inspiration. You all got what it takes. Because you woke up this morning, But anyway, my mind went blank now. I need to rest, and tell you what, I still got plans to do things, still got plans to the great thing is just having the joy to share experiences with y'all and to tell a story, to tell an inspiring story. That's one thing that really gets me going. That's one thing that motivates me to keep on doing these things. And it's great to have you all on board with this. But I guess I will close it. And y'all take care. Everybody who's in the chat tonight, thank you so much for hopping in. Dan Antonio there at the beginning got first in the chat. Warpig, Brennan for a second. Soloscaper Daniel. Thank you all, and especially thank you for that second super chat there, Soloscaper. You're awesome. Keep on doing your stuff. I noticed that there's another YouTuber out there that just started their Heroscape stuff, and I gotta give a shout out for that. So Skipper, get some rest, keep making those plans. When things get tough, I ask myself, what's something you're looking forward to? Yeah. Good night, God bless you too, War Pigment. Thank you so much. Even if the simplest, smallest thing. That's right. That's how I actually approach my animating anyway. That's the simplest way I can do this. Overcomplicate things, then you're just like then you got hijacked. But that's something we talk about some other time. But yeah, bless you all. Take care of yourselves. This Sunday we'll probably do some painting. I don't think there's anything else we need to do for this Sunday, so as long as I'm able to, we'll just spend like half hour painting some things and just chatting then. So with that, stay safe, take care out there, keep on scaping, keep on giving people a reason to have a good pop culture. something for people to look forward to. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it, and we'll see all of you next time. Later now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.